I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and today's question comes from a young viewer who wants to know my thoughts on going off the grid. Now, this question has taken on some added weight given the numerous power outages related to weather events that are impacting so many of my fellow countrymen. And I don't want anyone to think I'm making light of that situation, and indeed encourage you to find ways to help out our neighbors to make sure we're all warm and safe. But this idea of living off the grid, of being independent of the various power sources that keep our society going, it's one that's, well, it's very tempting. There are times when it seems as though we are all tied to this industrial machine that requires so much of us and consumes us and leaves precious little of our humanity intact. So the idea of finding a way to cut oneself off, to create an independent homestead where one can live out one's days committed to whatever ideals one has, there is a great deal to desire in it. But I am very concerned about not just the idea of being off the grid, of having one's own independent water or electricity, but the ramifications of being so cut off from society as a whole. That is perhaps a bridge too far for me. We are a social species. We crave community, and I think in that regards, I would not cut myself off. As much as I might rail against humanity or the mass of mankind, ultimately I do like people. And I suppose I hear you saying that I could just as easily carry on connecting with people through writing letters, but I would like to remind you that there is a term for gentlemen of a certain age who have questionable views, cut off from society, who engage in voluminous correspondence. And that term is Unabomber. I have enough problems as it is. I think I'll stay plugged in. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.